Hello guys and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing week. Currently it is Tuesday and let's get right to the charts. First we are going to be starting off from the weekly time frame on Bitcoin. As you can see right here we are having a nice looking weekly bullish candle with buyers stepping in at the lows right here at the 0.786 Fibonacci level that I have talked about previously. And also if we just go on a lower time frame, you can see this was also our weekly S2 support, and the target for the week was the weekly pivot, which was around 89.5k, and Bitcoin from this low here on the 4 hourly without a single bearish candle has pumped around 8.5%. As you can see, absolutely breaking through the weekly pivot after being oversold right here also on our RSI momentum. It was a very clear signal that we were due for a potential bottom out right here, with Bitcoin hitting the key levels, basically the lows that I have previously told you that I would be expecting Bitcoin to be sweeping them on my X. I did share that with you guys. I shared you something like this, and this is exactly what has happened. As you can see, Bitcoin almost perfectly swept the lows. We did not manage to close below the 786 to actually sweep the low 80s zone. But for right now, in my opinion, if the stock market also continues to push higher, the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, we might see Bitcoin either range a little bit more in this zone right here before a potential breakout and retest of the $98,000 zone. We are going to be seeing somewhat of a consolidation happening, but if the stock market pushes even higher, I would be expecting Bitcoin to at least test the 618 at 94.2k, which if we measure it from right now is just 3.2% away. Now something that is very concerning for this move for Bitcoin is that if we look at the open interest right here, you can see ever since we are in this downtrend, the open interest has not gotten a push. Even on the 5-minute chart, you can see we basically during all of those moves right here have no open interest whatsoever for Bitcoin. Also the CVD is down, which makes me believe that there are no new money moving the market, and this is just basically the short liquidations pulling Bitcoin towards the upside and vice versa, pulling Bitcoin towards the downside. We do have more volume as of today. As you can see, basically during this pump right here, we did not have that much volume, but right here, as you can see, we do have more volume during this move, which is also why it might actually continue unlike before. The liquidation heat map, as you can see right here, we do have liquidity sitting all the way towards $96,000 for Bitcoin. Let me just refresh it so we can get the latest data. So Bitcoin is right now pushing potentially into this liquidity cluster, and we are, in my opinion, about to potentially take out those highs right here during this week. Since it is still Tuesday, we are early in the week, and it is very possible for Bitcoin to be taking out those highs until Friday. You can see yesterday we were in that fear zone, but right now after this dump that we had, we are back in the extreme fear, but still we did get that small sentiment reset. And right now, if Bitcoin pushes back to the local highs, we are going to get very back into that fear zone, somewhere near 40 potentially. Also, we did have 8.5 million of spot ETF inflows, with BlackRock still selling most of the Bitcoins. You can see they sold 65 million on the 1st of December. There's still no data for today, but I am pretty sure they will also be selling. But with this pump that we're seeing right now, they could also be very well buying some ETFs. Now let's look a bit some of the altcoins. Ethereum, as you can see, bouncing perfectly from the weekly S2 and also the 618 Fibonacci level. We did also sweep the lows right here on it, and on the weekly time frame, I did post on my X page that we are potentially looking very bullish on the weekly time frame on Ethereum. Even when the price was down here, I did warn you, since Bitcoin is sweeping the lows, we might see Ethereum struggle a bit or range a bit right here before we get that push towards this level, basically towards 3365. But actually right now we are very close to it, and if we measured from the bottom, this was a 22% of a move, and we do have only like 11.7% until we reach this level right now. Solana also testing the lows right here again at the value area low. As you can see, this is very important level for Solana. Previously, once we lost it, it was reclaimed in a couple of days. Then it was front ran a bit like right here, and right now we have tested it twice, and both times, as you can see, it held us perfectly. Now the next target would be once again this POC level, which either we are going to break this time or we are potentially going to get rejected for a third time in a row. Hype also trying to get back into this range right here. You can see we are just around trying to break above the value area low, and then the next target would be sitting around $38 at the point of control where most of the volume is sitting. And finally today SUI is seeing some a very nice candle like of the altcoins, and if measured from the bottom, we have 21% of a move on SUI. SUI is still a really nice project. Of course, this is not a financial advice, but since this liquidation week, right here, the capitulation week on during October, SUI was performing the worst, but right now, eventually, you can see I would be targeting the value area low, and from the bottom up until there, this is a 87% of a price change, which would be pretty nice gain. Of course, this is not a financial advice. Always do your own research. XRP right now still, as you can see, we are still testing the weekly pivot right here on XRP. It is up around 8.7%, so if it manages to break, the next target would be around 2.25 cents, and potentially the highest target for the week would be around 2.41%. The Bitcoin dominance, as you can see, still not dropping, even though the altcoins are moving. So imagine if the Bitcoin dominance starts pushing towards the downside, the altcoins would be going even higher, even though we are seeing around 18, 29 to 14 percent moves for the day with this small Bitcoin pump. It is not small, basically. We do have $7,000 in price change, but if we measure from the all-time high, we are unfortunately still down around 27%. So we are not out of the woods yet. We are still in this downtrend, and to reclaim this level basically back into this range would be very, very hard for Bitcoin. And I think this covers it for today, guys. I hope you liked it. and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.